Oh, good gracious. A flagrant foul on the Milwaukee Bucks. I didn't think I would be doing this one. But seeing how a turn of events happened within the last couple of weeks with the Milwaukee Bucks, yeah, I think the Milwaukee Bucks need a flagrant foul too. It's crazy how that works. It's just crazy how it works. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm assessing the Milwaukee Bucks a flagrant foul too. Yep, the second best team in the East is the Milwaukee Bucks at 32-16. Yet they are second in points per game at 123, well, pretty much 124. 10th in rebounding, which they should be. You have Giannis, you have the Lopez brothers, you have Portis, you better be rebounding. 14 assists, okay. But points per game is at 120, 23rd in the league. Keep that in mind. I'm gonna come back to that. But this is the last 5 games for the Milwaukee Bucks. 2-3. You lost to Cleveland. You split with Cleveland. You beat the Pelicans. You lost to the defending champs, and you lost to the Portland Trailblazers. We can forgive you for the Denver Nuggets because that is the reigning defending national champion, the reigning defending NBA World Champions. So we understand the NBA champions on their home court, their home cooking, the Joker, Jamal Murray, uh, Michael Porter Jr., Constance Pro, the whole 9 yards with Mike Malone coaching them. We can understand you can take an L at Denver. You took an L to the goddamn Blazers last night. Damian Lillard returns to Portland and he takes an L to the Portland Trailblazers. An L to the Portland Trailblazers. And by the way, the Denver game, that was Doc Rivers' debut as the head coach of the Denver Nuggets. Game 2 was against Portland, and you lost both games. So you already 0-2 in the Doc Rivers era. 0-2 already. Here's the Portland game. Here's the Portland game. That's the game I want to focus on. 29% from three-point range was the Milwaukee Bucks. 13 for 45. While the Blazers took almost damn near less than half of what they did, and they went 12 for 28. Shot 43% from three. You guys went to the line 18 times and made 13 of them, while the Blazers made all 9 of theirs. And you lost. You freaking lost to the Portland Trailblazers. I don't understand it. You had Giannis with 27 and 8. Should have been a double-double, but nevertheless, Chris Middleton gave you 21. Lopez gave you 19. Lillard on his return gave you 25, 6, and 7. Somehow you lost. Because when you look to Jeremy Grant, 18 points. DeAndre Ayton, 20 and 11. Michael Brogdon, 14. Anthony Simon, 24 points. You guys are 0-2 in the Doc Rivers era already. And you took an L to the Portland Trailblazers. What is going on here? And by the way, welcome to the Milwaukee Bucks, Doc Rivers. Welcome. You was doing a good job with ESPN calling games, but you love coaching more than anything. So good to see you back on the sideline coaching ball. You coaching the Milwaukee Bucks. You got Giannis Antetokounmpo, you got Damian Lillard, you got Chris Middleton, you got a little big three going on right there. Let's see what you do. But right now you had an 0-2 start already. Okay, we're not gonna put blame on you just yet. We're gonna give you some time. But after the All-Star break, we want to see a better Milwaukee Bucks team because they fired that guy there, Adrian Griffin, while being 30 and 13 and third in the East at the time. Third in the East at the time when they fired Mr. Adrian Griffin. Why they fired? There's a lot of things coming out. We don't know what's true and what's not. Everything is going to be somewhere in the middle. A lot of things happened, but there was 13. There was 30 and 13. They were third in the East and whatnot. Okay, they are 2-3 since that time. 0-2 with Doc Rivers at the helm. Nevertheless, one of the reasons that played a part in them firing Adrian Griffin. Look at this. These dudes are 23rd in opponents' points per game. They give up 120 a game. 120 people. 120. They just gave up 119 to the Blazers last night. 119 to the Blazers, not last night, but the day before. 119. They on average give up about 120 a game. That's the problem. What's the freaking even? Oh yeah, you traded Drew Holiday to the Boston Celtics so you can bring in Dame Dollar. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah. Let's see who else on this roster now. Let me see. No PJ Tucker. Yeah, yeah. No Grayson Allen. He's in Phoenix. So the guys that actually play defense, you got rid of. They bring in Damian Lillard. So what you gonna do? The trade deadline's coming up. All Star week's coming up. We gotta make some moves. You gonna bring back PJ Tucker? Cause you need some defense, damn it. On Milwaukee, you ain't winning the championship without no defense. You ain't winning the NBA championship giving up 120 points a game. There's anybody who knows basketball know you ain't winning the championship giving up 120 points a game. That is not happening unless you dropping 140. And we know Milwaukee ain't dropping no 140. And in playoffs, defense intensifies in the playoffs. So you're gonna be playing against teams who want to play defense. And if you still giving up 120 by the time you get to playoff time, y'all asses ain't winning the goddamn title. Giannis said he wants to win championships. They ain't say he came to Milwaukee because he want to win championships. Well, damn it, you got from now to April to figure out defense, or else y'all ain't winning the damn championship. Okay, y'all just not. And then here's the next games for the All-Star break. I'm looking forward to this Dallas game tomorrow. Luka Doncic. We'll see if Kyrie Irving is back. You got the Utah Jazz. Not gonna should be a win, but it's the Milwaukee Bucks. Then you got Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker out in Phoenix. TNT on the 6th. You host Minnesota the very next day, the number 1 team in the West. Okay, you got Charlotte. We don't care. You got Denver in your own place. So you can pay them back from beating you earlier. Miami comes walking in now. We'll see that game. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo. Now they got Terry Rozier. Remember, they took y'all out in the first round in 5 games. Let's see how y'all look. And then Memphis, if Memphis wasn't injured riddled like they are with Marcus Smart and John Moran, they would have been a game to watch, but they so injury riddled. I don't even know. And then I do believe they just traded Steven Adams for Victor Oladipo, so who was also injured as well. So it's interesting to see how that goes. But the next, 5 of the next 8 games, I'm looking forward to see how the Bucks look going in All-Star break, and then see how they look coming out to see if they are ready to be another championship contender team again. Because if you keep giving up 100, I do mean 120 points a game, you ain't winning no damn championship. Matter of fact, you ain't even gonna make it to the damn NBA Finals giving up 120 points a game. I can guarantee you. So yes, I done 2 Flagrant Fouls on the top 2 teams in the East. Who would ever would have thought? Because the Boston Celtics just didn't show up last night at home against a starless Laker team. And the Milwaukee Bucks, they don't know what to do. They have no defense. They fired coaches mid-season. And now they still 0-2 on the Doc Rivers. So I have no idea at this moment in time. So yes, those are my Flagrant Fouls for today. I had to bring them out. So there you go. And I think for the first time in Shooting Lights Out history, the team that got the last Flagrant Foul is the same team that's getting the Flagrant Foul this episode. Wow. So I'm gonna set the table up for Mr. Cole Johnson. Yeah, we talking about the Milwaukee Bucks. 1-4 under the. I put 1-5, but that should be 1-4 under the Doc Rivers era thus far. And remember, they fired Mr. Adrian Griffin when he was 30-13. Okay. These are what the games they got coming up. They have Minnesota tomorrow, Charlotte, Denver, Miami, at Memphis, at Minnesota, and at Philadelphia. Boy. But here are their standings as of right now. As you can see, they are second in scoring, 11th in rebounding, 14th in assists, and 24th in opponents' points for the pregame. 24th! But this is not my Flagrant Foul. This is Cole Johnson's Flagrant Foul. Mr. Cole Johnson, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Playmaker. I totally appreciate that. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Sorry, my bad. I thought I was at a mosque. My bad.
Wow.
All right. I need to have that calmness because I don't think I'm getting. I don't think it's computing into my brain. I don't think it's transmitting to me that we have a team that was 30-13, but felt the need to get the head coach that you doted on so much gone. You doted all so much on Adrian Griffin. This was the guy that was supposed to to help Giannis Antetokounmpo be the stud on defense. That he's good, but he's not considered the stud on defense. He's good though, but he was supposed to be the guy that was supposed to bring that defensive intensity to the Bucks. And then when you saw that they, well, quite frankly, they, just like the other 29 teams in the league, are suffering from what I call basketball that sucks today, because you have today NBA fan raving that we want to see points scored on the board, that we believe in athleticism all over the place, and we believe in having 43s per game be chucked up. And you all believe in having matador defense. What I mean, Olay! Olay! Olay!
Not to mention we're handing out 70-point games like it ain't nothing.
I'm so glad you said that. Bookmark what I just said. So I saw a chump had the nerve to say that Kobe's 81 was better than Wilt's 100. And I said to this chump, I said, fool, you're going to have fools that's going to say, and Luka's 73 is better than Kobe's 81. Get out my face with that crap. Now, I'll take the bookmark off and open the book again. You all were doting hard on Adrian Griffin. This was supposed to be the guy that was going to bring intensity and defensive integrity to the Bucks, because for some reason that seemed to have been lost in the shuffle and lost in translation.
Drew Holiday.
But correct me if I'm wrong, sir. There's a player that was on the team last year that's not on it this year.
Oh, Drew Holiday for 200.
And you are correct, sir. That is the biggest piece of your defensive puzzle gone. And I am not a scout. I'm not a coach. I'm not affiliated with in the NBA, and I could tell you that myself. I'm not even a Bucks fan, and I can tell you this. How is it that you all couldn't see this when you thought that Mr. Holiday was expendable? Oh, that's right. Because you all were drooling over the prospect of Dame Dollar having those point totals like a Joel Embiid, like a Luka, and others who were scoring 70-plus points. Ah, that's why. And I'm not saying that it was wrong for you to pick him up. I think it was great that you got Mr. Lillard on the team. He seems to be doing some wonders for them, but I'm not saying that Lillard is a bad defensive player, but he's not really known to be a defender. He has his moments, but he's more of an offensive player. So now you have a coach that you brought onto the team to be defensively stalwart, but they couldn't stop a cold. And then you embarrassed the man on his way out the door in saying that you had Giannis ignoring the dude, and in timeouts he and Damian Lillard were drawing up plays. You basically saying this man was worth nothing. And you dump on him before you send him out of the door. Before Five-Star Arena served as a launching pad for you to put your foot onto his hiney and shove him out the door. And all the while, you were clamoring for the man who always talked like this who has a big presence, who has a ring, and who can win playoff games, especially if he's up 3-1, and Doc Rivers. Lord have mercy.
Let me see. I think Cole McCann has a sentiment for you.
Oh, he does.
Oh, my brother. Testify.
And then he gets on the team, he leads it, and they proceed to be 1-4. Oh, but hey, the one victory that they got, it put him on the bench to coach the All-Star game. Oh, and before I forget, Wise, yes, Cleveland right now is the number 2 seed in the East. But they determined who was going to coach the NBA All-Star game 2 weeks out from when the game starts. So the game is February 18th. This was determined February 4th. And the Bucks were the number 2 seed then. And, of course, that stupid rule, because it shouldn't be him, it should be Masula. But since Masula coached last year and teams can't have coaches coach All-Star games 2 years in a row, he seated and made way for Doc Rivers. 5 games in coaching this year to be the Eastern All-Star head coach. Cool, saying Doc rotations infinity trash.
That NBA rule, trash. Continue on.
Yes. So Wise, that's why that's why you're not seeing someone else on the bench. You're seeing Doc on it. Personally, I think Doc should actually step aside and have someone else be on that bench too. Personally, that'd be me, but it's not me. So instead of seeing JB Bickerstaff, we're seeing Doc Rivers.
Joe Mazzulla.
Okay, the stupid rule should be Joe Mazzulla, but if they're going to hold fast to that stupid, dumb rule, then you can't have Mazzulla. Doc Rivers step aside, you put JB Bickerstaff there. But I digress. You now have to deal with a coach. Let me see if I can remember this correctly. When he was a member of the Magic, he had a 3-1 series lead in the first round against the Pistons. And I think this was 2003. Yeah, I think it was 2003. This was at the height of Tracy McGrady's powers. And I'm saying this being a Rockets fan because Tracy McGrady as a Magic, he was an absolute stud. He was good with the Rockets. He was a stud with the Magic.
Painful memories. Why?
And then they laid an egg, and the Pistons beat them 4-3. Oh, but it doesn't stop there. 12 years later, as the Clippers head coach, up 3-1, they gave Game 5 to the Rockets. But up 3-2 and up 19 points in the third quarter after a spectacular 360 dunk from Blake Griffin brought down the Crypto.com Arena house.
It was called Staples back then.
I know it was called Staples. But that dunk brought down the house. I mean, all 10 Clippers and all 21,990 Lakers fans were just roaring with approval.
This man is stuck on these 10 Clipper fans.
And you didn't seal the deal. You could say, well, I mean, Chris Paul didn't play most of that series. Next man up. We don't give a crap. You had this team down, and you beat them.
Hey, but let's stay on track because we talk about Chris Paul. Cole is going to need to stay on track. We're not going to talk about Chris Paul.
No. I'm not looking at Chris Paul.
Because I know how you are with Chris Paul.
Yeah, I'm not looking at Chris Paul. I mean, I could talk about 2018, but I'm not going to because we're not talking about him, nor the Rockets, and actually nor the Clippers. We're focusing on Glenn Rivers. And then we get to the 76ers days. You had an inferior squad that you could have crushed underneath your boot in the Atlanta Hawks. And you had your power forward, heighted-sized point guard in Ben Simmons come up smaller than mini-me and having balls shorter and with less density than a cookie crumb in Game 7. And that on all... I'm sorry?
That man ain't been right since.
No. So, yeah. So, that was 3 years ago. Then you trade him away. You give Stay Puft Marshmallow Man on the team. They act like they didn't care about wanting to play the Raptors in the first round, and they most certainly cared less about playing the Heat when the Heat booted them out. And it wasn't even a contest, but that was expected. The Heat were a better team than the Sixers. Last year.
I knew it was coming. I knew it.
Last year. Embiid, MVP. James Harden, the reason why the 76ers are going to go far and win it all. And the reason why Embiid got the MVP award. In the words of Maury Povich, that was a lie. You had the Celtics down 3-2 and 6 points in Game 6 in your own crib. And Cool said it best. Doc Rotation's infinity trash. That statement couldn't have been proven more true than then. Because you couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, and it got to the point where you all were scared to take shots. James Harden, who wants to actually bump into people while just chunking up a shot, didn't even want to think about taking shots.
Because them calls ain't coming no more.
He was looking to get bailed out. You barely went to Embiid. You didn't go to Maxey. And you just turned the ball over some more. And that 3-2 series lead turned into an embarrassing 4-3 series loss because in Game 7, you didn't show up. You see, Bucks fan, you see Bucks organization, you have a man, and I have given you 4 instances on 3 different teams where he should have sealed the deal with his basketball acumen, his pedigree because he is a champion, and his ability to manage games, which sometimes is good and sometimes is piss poor. You have the ability to take advantage of that, but it almost makes me want to beg this question to ask. So the coach that you did have,
Adrian Griffin?
Yeah, the coach you did have. I guess you must have thought he was a David Blatt 2.0 because you decided to say, okay, well, he has no name. he needs to go.
And we suck on defense.
And you brought him on the club for defense. So I guess you want to do him like they do Dirty like that. But it's okay. It's okay. In my thought process, you were fine with Mike Budenholzer. You're fine with him. I don't know why you needed to get rid of him. You could say, well, he lost the locker room. Players didn't want to hear him again. They tuned him out. I don't give a crap. You're talking about a guy who now is 3 years removed from giving you the first championship that organization has had since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was named Lou Alcindor.
Sorry to do this, Cole, but you're ranked 24th in opponent's points per game. 24th. Continue, sir.
I don't know. That was perfect. And now you have Agent Griffin going the way of one Frank Vogel, who, when people would say, well, this guy is a defensive wizard. And then when he got on a team that people did not want to invest playing any time on defense, he became a forgotten guy. And that's even with him winning a championship. He became a forgotten guy to the point where he became an expendable piece. Because people said, well, that last championship, that was LeBron who won it for him, not Frank Vogel. They won it in spite of him, not because of him. And the Bucks...
That was in a freaking bubble.
And the Bucks wanted to get ahead of that, I guess, and say, well, we don't want people to say that the Bucks won their second championship in the last 4 years in spite of Agent Griffin. We want to say that they won it because of that head coach. But the funny thing is, you're going to be saying it with a different coach now. Because if the Bucks do go ahead and they do lay waste to the Sixers are really not going to compete all that much. Even though they say that Embiid's only going to be gone for 4 weeks, that knee trouble doesn't heal in a month. So, although you could probably lay waste to the Sixers, you could probably turn back the challenge of the Cavs because they're a young team that's getting it together, and it looks like that all they need to do is just get one more piece, and they can simply take it from here to the championship. But they're not quite there yet. And the stiffest chance you'll have, of course, the Celtics.
They want Miami.
And then there's the Heat, because they really could give a crap about the regular season, but then they'll come on strong and see. Harden and Embiid, they're the opposite of the Heat. The Heat, they don't care about the regular season. Just as long as they're the 8th seed in the first round, that's all they care about. Because then they'll wreak havoc on every team they play after that. But you have to deal with three of those teams to get to the finals, and more than likely you'll probably face a team like the Nuggets, or if they're fortunate, a team like, I don't know, the Timberwolves. I doubt it, because they don't have the experience to go that far yet. And if you give Dame Time his first ring, and you give Giannis his second, you know what you will be saying? You'll be saying that the Bucks won that championship in spite of Doc Rivers. Not because of him, in spite of him. So why would you want to get rid of a coach where it really didn't matter if he was on the bench? For another, that it really doesn't matter if he's on the bench. But the funny thing is, though, at least Griffin was not going to mess up rotations like Doc Rivers will. Because guaranteed, the Bucks will get in a situation where the game is close, palms get sweaty, backsides get tight.
Stephen A. Smith has made the program again.
The nuts shrivel. And you find out that your team comes up short yet again because the guy on the bench does not know what piece to put in at the right time. And because the players won't have to trust in the coach, you're going to have anarchy and chaos, and you're going to have disappointment in May in Milwaukee. I don't know what you were thinking in having Glenn Rivers be the guy who was going to man your team that has championship aspirations, with probably the hungriest player in the NBA right now in Dame Lillard to get a ring. But Doc Rivers is not your guy. He's not. He's not. And I hate to say it, you're going to crumple faster than an accordion does when someone folds it. And it's all because you got a guy who, when the chips are down, he doesn't believe in himself that he can pull you to victory. And when you have that on the sideline, that's not good to have, even when you have world-class talent like Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard leading the team. You made a mistake, Milwaukee, in getting rid of Adrian Griffin. Yes, the team sucks defensively, but guess what? The whole league sucks defensively. You panicked. And now the team's about to get worse before you hope it gets better. You better hope it does, though, before it's too late. Oh, and you got to deal with Chris Middleton being injured yet again. The Bucks version of Mr. Glass. Sucks to be you. And you're not even defending Eastern Conference champs. That's what makes it even worse.